And they're off. Mick Sniper breaks very alertly and straight to the front. Debbie's Gal has some speed. On the far outside, Kentrigue is up close, now taking second. Improbable You, hard-ridden early, 4 lengths off the lead, 2 clear of Angel Baby. And 80s Music was off slowly and is the distant trailer. It's Mick Sniper to the half-mile pole, leading 3/4 of a length. Kentrigue pressing second, a length and a half. Debbie's Gal a comfortable third at the rail, and then comes Improbable You with 3.5 to make up. Angel Baby is inching up a closer fifth, making a 3-wide bid in the red cap, and still a distance to 80s Music. Midway on the far turn, Mick Sniper lets it out a notch. Angel Baby with this sustained bid just keeps on coming on the outside. And now 80s Music has come alive. And 80s Music unleashed on the far outside as they turn for home. Angel Baby on the outside tackles Mick Sniper. 4 lengths back to a hard charging 80s Music in third. Down at the rail, Debbie's Gal in fourth. 16th pole, Angel Baby the leader. 80s Music moves up outside Mick Sniper. It's Angel Baby firing a big shot to score a length and a half. Mick Sniper held second. 80s Music a good third, then Debbie's Gal. Goes in. And they're off. Flashy Fritz is fast out of the gate. AP again right up alongside and to the front. Wave with Envy is 3 off the leader in third, and 1 Happy Dude trails. Single file down the backstretch. AP again clears off. The heavy favorite goes to the half-mile pole, a length and a half in front of Flashy Fritz. 2 more back to Wave with Envy, and then it's a big gap to 1 Happy Dude. Less than a half-mile to go. AP again. Flashy Fritz tries to re-engage. Hard ridden by Maldonado to stay close second. Now it's almost 5 back to Wave with Envy. And another 7 to 1 Happy Dude coming toward the quarter pole. And Flashy Fritz with a relentless attack on AP again. Puts his head in front. 5 back, Wave with Envy. 1 Happy Dude starting to pick it up a bit from behind there at the top of the stretch. Flashy Fritz and AP again, shoulder to shoulder. 4 back to 1 Happy Dude who's angling out with dangerous late strides. 1 Happy Dude within 3 lengths of the embattled leaders and coming fast. 1 Happy Dude blows by them all. And it will be 1 Happy Dude patiently handled, galloping home. Flashy Fritz second, Wave with Envy third, AP again fourth. Games is an official sponsor of Santa Anita Park. Games' mission is to bring plagiarist. And they're off. Clean start for all, and it is Authentic Patriot who gets the first call out of there. Easy Company is ridden for speed and responds. Heavily favored Blacksmith comes away in third. Out of the Woods is in between horses, fourth. The back of a compact field. He and Plagiarist are side by side, very close and not too comfortable for those two. Heading to the 6 furlong pole, and it's Authentic Patriot who clears off. Leads it a length and a half, make it 2 to Blacksmith in second. They swing on to the backstretch, 2 clear of Easy Company in third. Then Plagiarist, 4 lengths off the lead, and a length and a half to Out of the Woods. 5 lengths front to back, 5 furlongs remain. And it is Juan Hernandez and Authentic Patriot. Fresh off the little freshening, and it is Blacksmith who's 2 behind, gets a little bit of a nudge to go after the pacemaker into the far turn. Easy Company hard ridden at the rail, joined by Out of the Woods. Plagiarist outside of him, 3 furlongs remaining, and Authentic Patriot has now been collared by Blacksmith. These two are head and head, and they come to the quarter pole together as one. On the outside, Blacksmith. At the rail, Authentic Patriot now ahead away second. Plagiarist takes third. They're at the top of the stretch. Blacksmith on the outside gets the upper hand on Authentic Patriot. Opens up a length inside the 8th pole. Plagiarist 5 away in third. They're coming to the 16th pole, and Blacksmith was an absolute shoo-in. He's clear by 3, make it 4. It's all Blacksmith pouring it on late as Plagiarist completes the exacta. Blacksmith jogs. Plagiarist second best, Authentic Patriot third, and then it was out of the woods. Going in. And they're off. Tougher Than the Rest is going out for the lead with Mother's Prayer, Dark Marcus third, Ubaka KO fourth. Then Austonian and Northern Quest is at the back of the field. Into the first turn with less than 7 furlongs to run. And it's Mother's Prayer, narrowly in front, pressed by Dark Marcus, who's just a head away second. It's a length and a half to Tougher Than the Rest, who's clearly into third. Down at the rail, it's Austonian. Northern Quest is racing in between horses, and Ubakakeo outside of them, now a joint fourth. 4.5 furlongs remain for Mother's Prayer, who is pressed by Dark Marcus towards the half-mile pole. Tougher Than the Rest in the 3-path third, Austonian, Ubakakeo, and another 4 back to Northern Quest. There's a half-mile left to travel. Still Mother's Prayer, having to be sent along to keep that lead, getting serious pressure from Tougher Than the Rest. And Tougher Than the Rest makes a bold move for the lead. Dark Marcus moves into second. Mother's Prayer at the rail back to third. Austonian is angled off the rail in fourth, but they all have plenty of work to do as Tougher Than the Rest bounding clear by 4 lengths at the top of the stretch. Dark Marcus in between horses. Mother's Prayer is trying to hang tough, reclaiming second. Then Austonian and Ubakakeo, they're coming to the 16th pole, and it's Tougher Than the Rest clear by 4. Austonian is starting to pick it up with serious momentum now, though. And here's Austonian, and Armando Ayuso kept to the task to get the W. Tougher Than the Rest made that big move, but had to settle for second. Dark Marcus third, Ubakakeo fourth. And they're off. Aaron's breaks out very nicely and goes straight to the front, opening up, in fact. Another Juanito is a joint second. Here's Texas Wildcat moving up and engaging Aaron's on the front end. So these two speed 2 clear of Southern Sig, who's now in third. Another Juanito, Trail Blaze is on the rail, 4 lengths off the lead. Then Nash for Cash and Maximum Gladiator is at the back. Went by Nash for Cash now. Half-mile to go, and it's the favorite Aaron's in front. 3/4 of a length to Texas Wildcat, still pressing that issue and coming back for more on the outside. 2 more back to Southern Sig in third. At the rail, it's Trailblaze in fourth. Another Juanito has lost some ground on the inside of Maximum Gladiator. Nash for Cash is far behind with 1/4 mile to go. Aaron's clinging to the lead. Texas Wildcat on the outside. These two have dominated. Aaron's cuts the corner and opens up a length and a half as Texas Wildcat called on, but now suddenly 3 lengths behind in mid-stretch. It's Aaron's opening up now. Behind them, Trailblaze in third, trying to get into second, but a no doubt about it romp. 2 for Pereira, this time on Aaron's in front-running fashion, almost 6 lengths when the smoke clears. Texas Wildcat, Trailblaze, another Juanito. Early pick 5, $1,743.35. 24 minutes to the 6th. Bally Hooligan, Macho Man, and Unbridled Vision. And they're off. Clean start. And a very nice one for Handsome Ticket, who takes command at once. The old nine comes through on the inside and is racing in second. Passed now by Bally Hooligan, who takes that second spot. Unbridled Vision, Macho Man is close, only 3 lengths off the lead. And Mitzi's Express on hold at the back of the field. Easy lead for Handsome Ticket, who sails past the half-mile pole with a 3-length advantage. Lineup of 3, headed by the old 9 at the rail, Bally Hooligan in between, and Unbridled Vision is next. Mitzi's Express in the yellow, guided to the outside of Macho Man. 3/8 to go. Abel Lescano and Handsome Ticket in control. 2.5-length advantage on the old 9 second. Bally Hooligan hard ridden, not responding, passed by Unbridled Vision. Mitzi's Express is now 7 lengths off this loose leader. Handsome Ticket, who's the one to catch at the top of the stretch, cuts the corner and has a 4-length lead. On the outside, Unbridled Vision is starting to gain some nice momentum. In between horses, the old 9, and down at the rail, it's Bally Hooligan, 16th pole. Handsome Ticket by 3 over Unbridled Vision. Handsome Ticket is holding on, and it will be Handsome Ticket in front-running fashion. Unbridled Vision second. Mitzi's Express rallied for third in front of the old 9. And that is a double for Abel Lescano in 23 minutes. Boston starter awaits Sterling C. In the gate. And they're off. Cruising for Cali. Very fast away from the gate, as is Sharon's Beach, who moves through one from the rail. On the extreme outside, Dreaming On is in the mix, and Why Not Another One comes through quickest of all down at the rail. Just behind this quartet, we have Dutton Song at the rail, Montana Jet, and 2 more to Sterling C, who's ridden along. Why Not Another One passes the half-mile pole, leading it by a neck over heavily favored Sharon's Beach, who's right up alongside now. Dreaming On makes it 3 right across the track, and then comes Dutton Song joining the party from 4th. At the rail, Cruising for Cali, 3 clear of Montana Jet, and Sterling C is at the back. Dreaming On with a 1/4 mile to go is the leader. Sharon's Beach trying to cling to him and does just that. Comes through on the inside and takes the lead at the 8th pole. 3 more to Dutton Song, who's trying to lug in just a touch there in the final furlong. Sharon's Beach and Dreaming On, nothing between these two. Sharon's Beach and Antonio Fresu on the inside, Dreaming On and Kazushi Kimura. Sharon's Beach proves best after a sweat job. Dreaming On was second, then Dutton Song and Cruising for Cali. Tomorrow and Sunday, we are celebrating the Lunar New Year, a weekend filled with authentic Chinese shows, including the Lion Dance. There will also be musical acts, family. Through the gate. And they're off. Clean start, and shortly thereafter, Don't Tell Me What to Do took up slightly. Battle on the front end. Past the Lubong is widest of all. Here's Libel Proof coming through along the inside smartly now. And Libel Proof is the leader. My Cat second. Call Me Susie in and among horses. Backs off this pace battle as Past the Lubong is 3 wide in third. Lino's Angel moves into fourth, 3 lengths off the lead. 2 clear of Mimetic. Don't Tell Me What to Do. And it's a gap of 4 to Tapatia Mia. Midway on the far turn. Libel Proof is the leader. Has it by 3/4 of a length. Past the Lubong on the outside in second. Lino's Angel moves into contention. My Cat is the favorite and under serious pressure. One from the inside there at the top of the stretch, and Libel Proof opens up a 2-length lead. My Cat between horses. Lino's Angel on the outside is warming up nicely. And on the extreme outside, Don't Tell Me What to Do, trying to come from way out of it. Lino's Angel is the leader close to home, and Lino's Angel is too strong. Lino's Angel wins it by 2.5. Don't Tell Me What to Do was second. Past the Lubong third, then Libel Proof. Program here at the Great Race Place. Super high five wagering offered. 21 minutes to post. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is your destination for gaming excitement. As the closest casino and resort to Santa Anita Park, you're sure to experience world-class gaming, dining, and entertainment. Come. And they're off. Mr. Machu Picchu and Silver I Am, the first two out of the gate. Now Afternoon Nap joins the fray, and on the far outside, Coach Cronin has moved up to be a joint second. One Smokin' Dude is about 3 lengths off the lead, racing just in front of Silver I Am, who's now 4 off them. The two trailers are Special Club and Galan de Besos at the back of the field. Mr. Machu Picchu with a short lead into the far turn, tracked by Coach Cronin, who's a half length back and putting the pressure on past the 3/8 pole. Another two, Afternoon Nap under pressure, third. They're followed by One Smokin' Dude. Galan de Besos moves up outside Silver I Am. Special Club is at the back. They turn for home. Mr. Machu Picchu has been there throughout. Coach Cronin still a half length behind with 1 furlong to go. Bearing down on him now. Another 4 lengths back. Afternoon Nap. Special Club is down at the rail. Coach Cronin takes the lead at the 16th pole and starts to pull away late. It will be Coach Cronin. Much the best. The favorite prevails by 3.5. Mr. Machu Picchu was second. Third, Special Club in a photo with One Smokin' Dude, and Afternoon Nap completes the super high five.
Happy Lunar New Year to those of you who celebrate. And of course, we're going to have a great on-track crowd today celebrating Lunar New Year. One lucky person is going to walk away with $5,000 as part of the promotion. Of course, there'll be plenty of celebration of the Lunar New Year, a lion dragon dance, cultural food, etc., etc. And perhaps more importantly, if you're watching out there in simulcast land, a terrific 10-race card today in store for you here at the Great Race Place. A terrific 10-race card means we need a terrific seminar guest. And I've got one. You've seen him many times. He's my go-to guy. He's one of the most respected handicappers and clockers anywhere in North America. His name, Toby Turrell. Toby, happy Saturday. Welcome to the seminar.
Hey, great to be here as always, and take all the accolades right to the first race.
Exactly right. Well, we'll get to the first race a little bit later on, but I wanted to talk, Toby, about the feature race today, race number 7. And those of you who have looked at the card know that race number 7 is named in honor of Wishing Well. Now, many of you East Coasters might think that's named in honor of the very popular and famous restaurant in Saratoga. In fact, the mare Wishing Well was named after the restaurant in Saratoga. She ran 38 times. She had 12 victories over a 3-year race career. But perhaps most importantly, she was most famous for being the dam of Sunday Silence. And I thought it would be a good chance to take a step back and go back through the history books and take a look at the 1989 Breeders' Cup Classic, won by Sunday Silence. Of course, his main rival was Easy Goer. But let's go down to Gulfstream Park, I should say, in 1989, and listen to Tom Durkin describe the action as they turn for home in the 1989 Breeders' Cup Classic.
They're coming to the top of the stretch, and Blushing John is under a hand ride. He leads by a length and a half. Sunday Silence, a threatening presence on the outside. Easy Goer is set down, and he's put to a fierce drive. Coming to the final furlong, Sunday Silence surges to the front. Blushing John trying to fight back. Easy Goer with one final acceleration, and Sunday Silence holds on.
Toby, you know, it's the classic East versus West, and we can see there the late, great Charlie Whittingham in the background celebrating the bald eagle. Chris McCarron in the saddle, late substitute for regular rider Patrick Valenzuela. And one thing as I watched that entire race, we just watched the stretch run right there, is it struck me that Sunday Silence had a quicker turn of foot on the turns, and yet Easy Goer was more of a straightaway horse. You see that a lot of time with different horses, either in the morning or the afternoon, don't you, Toby?
Well, you know, the reality is you always want to be quicker. You know, on dirt racing, you want to have speed. I mean, let's face it.
You want to be Tiger Quick.
You want to have the first run. You want to make them. And you know what? Sunday Silence's main rider, that's Patrick Valenzuela.
Correct.
So enough said.
But that was Chris McCarron in the saddle, and as my producer and I spoke about before we came on air, you could have put an egg on the back of Chris McCarron that entire race, and it would not have fallen off. One of the reasons why he's in the Hall of Fame. All right, Toby, I always have you on the show because you've been here since basically 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning watching the horses work out. Any one or two workouts maybe stick out to you this morning that caught your eye?
This was a very pivotal, big day for us today here. You know, this is my first full day of clocking.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we, you know, of course, had to cancel last Monday, and only the training track was open on Monday. And so I came in and clocked a half day on the training track. And then the dirt didn't reopen for training until today. This is our first day back, and we really made it count where it counts right now with the 3-year-olds. Very big day for the 3-year-olds out there. Bob Baffert with butane worked very strongly inside of litmus tests. Big to see him come out of the race the way he did. The interesting work was a horse called Boyd. Boyd is a very fast, speaking of intrinsic speed, Boyd has as much as any 3-year-old in training. Also from the Bob Baffert barn, 2 for 2 up to this point, has not made his 2026 debut. And the pivotal part there is this horse worked 6 furlongs today, answered a big question. Florent Giroux was in the saddle, interestingly enough. He also was in the saddle on Brandt, who stepped up with a big 6 furlong gate work. Today he disposed of a mate, big confidence builder. And then on the other side, Intrepido for Mullins had a very solid work out of the race with Barrios. And then we'll save perhaps the best for last because we showed the tape and our opinion of the trip on Secured Freedom for Timmy Yakteen. And boy, oh boy, did he step up today in the right kind of way. Started about 7 lengths back of a good horse named My Perfect Wave, who actually won here on opening day. Just consummate, just breezed right up to the target and right on by right when it counted at the wire. Big, huge day. We also had Explora with Hernandez, worked big off the last race for her. And then the 2 other stars for Baffert, Usha, and last but not least, in any sense of the word, Splendora, just out there with an amazing presence today as well.
Busy morning for the Team Baffert team, the exercise riders, the assistant trainer, Jimmy Barnes, and of course, Mr. Baffert himself. One runner you didn't mention, Toby, and I'm wondering if you've seen him back on the work tab since his victory in the Robert B. Lewis Stakes. That would be Plutarch, the runner that primarily went from turf to dirt. The dam is stellar one. Have you seen him back out on the track at all?
I'm assuming he'll work tomorrow. We shall see. But he obviously didn't work today. So we'll see if he could, the other horses all work today, Butane, Intrepido, Secured Freedom. So we'll see if he comes back tomorrow.
And what about a runner from the Mark Glatt barn, the winner of the San Vicente? I'm not sure that he's necessarily a Kentucky Derby or Santa Anita Derby horse, but so happy is, I believe, 2 for 2 in his short but very talented career. Have you seen him in the mornings lately?
Yeah, he worked before the rain, let's put it that way, which has been a week now. So time flies, but he had a very productive 59-2 with Mike Smith aboard inside of another horse, very professional, doing everything right. So I would assume we'll see him tomorrow as well.
Desert Gate from the Bob Baffert barn, disappointed in the aforementioned Robert B. Lewis, finishing 4th. Have you seen him despite these interruptions in the training schedule?
Yeah, no, he didn't work either. Again, horses could only jog yesterday on the dirt. They couldn't really gallop. So I got to assume they give those horses maybe an extra day or 2. Maybe they might even come back on Monday. So we'll be watching for them.
And Toby, I'm going to allow you to get on your soapbox for the next minute or 2 before we take a break to get the scratches from track announcer Frank Miramati. But you talked about how the main track was closed due to the inclement weather most of this week. Thank God for the training track and the synthetic surface, right? Because if we didn't have that, basically the horses would be stuck in the barn and we would be looking at 5-horse fields all this weekend and next weekend, which thank God we're not.
Well, it's it's been a blessing. I was so delighted. Again, I've said it before. All the people here stepped up in a big way and made that happen, and it's a big tribute to them. It's a huge game changer, ironically enough, I've watched. Some of Baffert's horses in particular, his top horses, 2 of them. Let's just call on the star Nysos. I got news for you. Nysos can run as well on the synthetic track as he can on the dirt.
Of course he can. He's trained by Bob Baffert. We're going to take a quick break. Give you an idea of how much rain we had. If you look over Toby's shoulder, you might be able to see the snow-shredded mountain because, of course, there you go. There's the shot. That gives you an idea that we had snow in the mountains and plenty of rain here in Arcadia, California. But as you can also see on the graphic, we are fast on the main track and good on the turf course. All races remain on the turf course and expect that status of good on the turf course to be upgraded hopefully later in the day. All right, we're going to take a quick break, get those changes from track announcer Frank Miramati, then dive into a fantastic 10-race card. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place, and welcome to those of you here for the Lunar New Year celebration today and tomorrow, and that includes the $30,000 wealth tree, with a potential $5,000 grand prize. The track is fast. The turf is rated as good. The rail on the turf is at 0 feet. Here are the early changes on this outstanding program. First race, scratch 1, Arkadelphia. Scratch 7, Maker and Sons. 1 and 7 out of this afternoon's first race. In the second race, there are no changes. Early pick 4 wagering is offered. Turning to race number 3. No changes. The fourth has a middle pick 4, so keep that in mind. That's a wager on long cards, such as today's 10-race program. Middle pick 4 on races 4 through 7. In the fifth, we start the $2 pick 6. Scratch numbers 13, Hot Rocket, and 14, Autism Puzzle. The sixth, late pick 5 wagering is offered. Scratch 2, Spun Not Stirred, and scratch 4, Aloha Chrome. Race 6, take out the 2 and the 4. In the seventh, we have the all-turf pick 3 late in the day today, races 7, 9, and 10. Also the 50-cent late pick 4, no changes in the seventh. Eighth race, scratch 9, California Cat. Scratch 10, Susie's Loaded. In the ninth, $5 double wagering offered. Program scratch of the 7 and scratch the also eligible number 14, Beef Winslow. And in the 10th, we have super high 5 wagering. Scratch 12, Narita, 13, Soul Sister, and 14, Larios, 12, 13, and 14. Out of race 10. Coast to coast, pick 5. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It starts with Gulfstream's 9th today. And there's a Sunset 6. Another tremendous payoff yesterday with the carryover in the Sunset 6. It comprises the last 3 races from Gulfstream with the last 3 from Santa Anita Park. Enjoy the racing action on this perfect day. Not a cloud in the sky here in Arcadia. Be at the gate for race 1 at 12:30. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner. His special guest. It's called the winner's card for a reason. CaseTheRace.com for more information about our special guest today, Toby Turrell.
Welcome back. As you can see on the screen, we have a special handicapping tournament today. You can play it either here on track at Santa Anita or online at expressbet.com, anywhere you may be watching around the country. And it's a great opportunity to qualify for the Ultimate Betting Challenge tournament, which will be the first Saturday in March. That'll comprise all the races from Gulfstream Park as well as all the races at Santa Anita. Today's tournament, to qualify, it's a super low ratio qualifier. One of those seats worth $6,000 is available for every 12 entries that are participating in the tournament. Last weekend, we had one of these tournaments. 39 players participated. 3 players won their $6,000 seat into the Ultimate Betting Challenge. Make sure you get involved today. Register on track here near Sorona's or go online at expressbet.com and earn your way to a $6,000 Ultimate Betting Challenge seat on the first Saturday in March. All right, Toby, that's 2 weeks down the road. Today, we've got a great 10-race card. As I mentioned, just one small field. The rest of them, a million turf races, a million horses in every race as well. So let's kick things off in race number 1, which, of course, begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5 or 1 mile on the turf course. Calbred 3-year-olds, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of one other than, as you heard Frank say. The turf rails today are at their normal 0 position. 2 scratches. Take out the 1 and 7. The morning line favorite in the current betting choice at 3-2 from the aforementioned Tim Yuck Teen Bar, number 4. Third beer, 3-2 on the tote board right now. Toby, thumbs up or thumbs down on the favorite?
Yeah, big thumbs up here. This colt is the proven horse of the field. You look at his running lines. He's running 3 stake races, none the least of which the Breeders' Cup juvenile turf. So obviously the connections, thinking a lot of this colt. Frezu gets back in the saddle, and he needed his last race. He wasn't too cranked up there, a couple of months off. Now this race, he should really spring forward, as they say. To me, kind of a standout. I'm kind of bold here. And the horse I think he has to beat, has a very explosive turn of foot, talking about number 6, Ventry Stand. But he's got to prove it at 2 turns, and he's got to prove it against the likes of a horse like Third Beer. So 4 and 6 to kick us off.
A comment and a question. The comment first about Toby's top selection, number 4, Third Beer. Not only is he dropping out of stake races, but also he adds Lasix today, which should hopefully improve his performance. The question, Toby, is regarding number 8, Dark Omen, who's 2-1 on the board. Aggie Ordonez and Kent DeSormo have been lighting the winter meet and even late last year on fire in terms of their appearances in the winner's circle. Dismiss any of their runners at your own peril. Do you give Dark Omen a chance today on the stretch out?
Well, interestingly, he's 2-1 as we speak, so I don't want to knock him too hard, but I will say this. Physicality, a big part of what I do, and this is a very speedy, compact, short-legged gelding. So like I said, as far as what shows for us as we go into the race, this horse has to answer that question. He got there, but he got there by a centimeter. It was a pickup mount for Espinoza that day. And this horse, he just has to prove he can get the distance.
Race number 2 is for $5,000 claimers, spreading 6 furlongs in the main track. Race 2 also begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We've got a field of 5. Morning line favorite number 2, Morello at 6-5. Gentlemen's Club, well known to those followers of mine on X. That's because Gentlemen's Club was out of the world famous mare Girl Downstairs. Hasn't really lived up to his breeding expectations, but nevertheless, this is his lowest level. Toby, 5 ways you can go here. Which way are you going and why?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the low-profile trainer of the 3-horse, Alpine Thunder. Tiago Pereira, this is a 5-claimer, but this horse, speaking of the synthetic training track we have here, Tiago spent half an hour out of his day to work this horse 3 furlongs for these connections in a blowout earlier in the week. And it was time well spent, because you just love to see any horse, 5-claimer or not, look sharp. And this horse looked very sharp. He showed it in every which way, including a sharp gallop out, very fluid. And I'm going to give him the call here in this 5-pack. The 5-horse broke slowly last time, showed that heart that he's got by fighting, going from the outside to the inside and fighting to the wire under Tyler Bays. But I'm going to go 3 and 5 here in this race.
Toby, I'm going to bring your attention to something regarding number 3, Alpine Thunder. And they say at the racetrack, you can never stop learning. And that certainly was the case yesterday, because you'll remember these 2 scenarios. But we had a winner in the first race from the Martin Valenzuela barn. And later on, we had first off the claim winner from trainer Francisco Rodriguez's barn. Both of those gentlemen, as well as Mr. Hernandez, who trains number 3, Alpine Thunder, generally speaking, train across town at Los Alamitos. But we remember on Super Bowl weekend, Los Alamitos was not only closed for racing, but also closed for training. So those gentlemen decided to ship their horses over here to run either on the synthetic or the main track in terms of training in preparation of their races. Well, we know what happened yesterday. The Martin Valenzuela horse, who had one prep workout, I should say, here at San Diego, wound up lighting up the tote board at 25-1. The Francisco Rodriguez, first off the claim from trainer Mark Latt, won by open lengths. And so I think there's something to be said with these horses who are primarily based at Los Alamitos getting a workout locally, because we know the difference is significant between Los Alamitos and Arcadia, California.
Yeah, no question. And I'll tell you what, that winner, well, I was going to get, you kind of stole a little bit of my thunder, but just wait till we get to a later race. I'll follow up on that.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 3. We've got a full field of 10 here traveling 1 mile on the turf course. Fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types. Non-winners of one other than the morning line favorite. Victor Espinoza rides number 9, Delightful Laura, but 7-2 on the morning line. Really good race here, Toby. Who do you like and why?
Going with a long shot in here.
I like it.
Yes, indeed. The rail filly, Lila. She going back to Breeders' Cup weekend at Del Mar. My good friend Mike Welsh was in town covering as a team for us, and I told him before I got there, I said, you watch the non-Breeders' Cup horses for me and get me a couple of those that you like. And this filly here was the one he liked, Lila. He said she worked lights out.
And that was before her last race in October at Del Mar.
Correct.
Now, since then, she's worked here at Santa Anita, including her most recent work on the training track on Valentine's Day a week ago today. Let's cue the workout tape, courtesy of our friends at firsttv.com, and watch Lila run, or I should say work out on the training track, like I said, on February 14th. This is a team drill, and that's Lila on the outside. Why'd you want to show this work, Toby?
Well, you can see very clearly that the rider is just trying to hold on and trying to hold her on the ground. She is absolutely loaded. The question is, when a horse expands this kind of energy fighting the rider like this one, what are they going to look like late? We see what she looks like early here. The question is she going to maintain that kind of energy level and that kind of run in the lane after doing this? Now, that's Tiago Pereira on the rail aboard Will Happen. Will Happen's a very fast horse.
She broke her maiden on the turf course at Del Mar in a blistering final time.
Yes, indeed. And look at Lila on the outside, still under that hold with those blinkers on and just waiting to just take off again. So hopefully she does that today when it counts.
Toby, what I like is that you're questioning whether or not she'll have that energy the entire race, but we're getting compensated from a morning line standpoint. She's 8-1 on the morning line, but you also like a runner drawn more to the outside, who is the morning line favorite, who was previously trained by the recently deceased John Sheriffs, number 9, Delightful Laura.
Yeah, and, I will be, my thoughts and prayers are with Dottie, and I will be down south celebrating in a couple of days with her. She loves this filly, Delightful Laura. She's talked to me about her. And opening day, she broke our hearts. Boy, oh boy, she did everything but win. And she ran giant that day. Turf was very soggy, had a lot of inches of rain under it. Today, it's going to be a lot firmer, even though it's not firm. But with that said, I think Victor Espinoza is going to have his way out on the lead with this filly. And I think she is the horse to beat.
And Delightful Laura, last performance on opening day, December 28th, made Brad Free from the Daily Racing Form's Horses to Watch list. His comment was that she was hounded through fast fractions, which certainly was the case going a flat mile. Race number 4, as you heard Frank Miramati say, on today's 10-race card begins the 50-cent middle pick for. That's right, we've got a 50-cent middle pick for on any cards 10 races or more. So we kick off that wager, sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track for Calbred, fillies and mares. Maiden claimers, $12,500 of the tag, a field of 8. Number 4, Play For Me from trainer Steve Knapsbarn is the 5-2 morning line favorite, Tiago Pereira in the saddle. Give us your thoughts on race 4, Toby.
Well, we didn't have to wait long to talk about this trainer, Martin Valenzuela. I'll tell you what, no accident what he did yesterday. And if you watch this guy closely, he does a great job with anywhere from a 12-5 maiden like this today to an allowance horse. And if he had stake horses, I'd love to see what he would do with them as well. What a trainer he is. This horse on the outside, Tom Starr, I've talked many times before about the power of watching the replays and the taking the detailed trip notes, building the databases, through the formulator for DRF, and just go back and watch this horse, Tom Starr, last race. She was shuffled out of the race on the far turn. I thought she was long gone at that point, but no, she comes rallying back with a lot of heart up the rail and was getting to the winner with each and every stride. So now she's outside. No more excuses, hopefully, today. She's 5 years old. She's got to get it done. And the favorite Play For Me comes out of the common race. She beat Play For Me, in my eyes, by a lot when you take in the trouble. But Play For Me, that was her first start, so she has every right to improve. So 8-4 in race 4.
Take a look at the field size for race number 5, which begins the $2 pick 6. A full field of 12, sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the turf course. $32,000 is the claiming tag. Take out the 2 also eligibles. 13 and 14 will not compete. The morning line favorite from the John Sadler barn, number 2, Central Dispatch with Antonio Fresu in the saddle. Really, really good race to kick off the pick 6 here, Toby.
Yeah, this is tough. But
very tough.
Yeah, I'm going with the number 7 horse in here, Code Duello. With the big win over the turf in his last start. The key now is what's he done since that race. And ever since that race, he comes back with a 58-3 that just kind of hits you right between the eyes. Key with that work is he did it rather easily. So I got to believe he's sitting on another big race. But the conditions are different here. He's got to deal with an extra half a furlong and a tougher field. So, we're going to get a fair price, 6-1 on the line with Barrios riding back. But I really respect my second choice as a racehorse, number 3, Donchik. I will be using Donchik equally with my top horse. This horse is just a gem of consistency. Last time out, he hopped at the start, broke stride on the dirt crossing. And then I thought, given how much ground he lost, was really striding in a big manner late. Just runs his eyes out time after time. He'll take some beating, but I'm going to go with him as my second choice, 7-3 in race 5.
Toby, a question for you. And another runner in this particular field, it relates to number 6, Pioneer Prince. Hasn't been seen since September of 2024. That's quite the layoff to overcome for our leading trainer at the moment, Doug O'Neill. Edwin Maldonado in the saddle kind of signals that they're going to look for his customary speed, perhaps this time sprinting. Have you seen his works in the morning?
Yeah, he's got a sharp little blowout over that synthetic track just a couple of days ago. Looked good, looked healthy out there and sharp. Interestingly enough, he was at Los Alamitos for most of the training pattern here. So like you said, a couple of big question marks. The big layoff and the distance would be my question with him today.
Race number 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. We're going 1 mile on the main track. $16,000 is the claiming tag. Non-winners of 2 races lifetime is the condition. There are 2 scratches. Take out both numbers 2 and 4. Leaves us with a field of 6. Morning line favorite likely to go lower is number 5, Bowtie Boy. Second off the long layoff. Still eligible for the waiver claim. 2-1 on the original morning line. What say you about race 6, Toby?
Well, among all the factors you want to try to play to find a winner, there's nothing really stronger than the pace. Pace does make the race in general. And it appears to me like this horse should really dominate out on that pace. I don't see much speed in this field. And Kimura, I'll tell you what, he is dynamite at getting horses out of the gate. People are catching on to that now, and he's great on a speed horse. So it all looks good to me for number 5, Bowtie Boys. Uncle Levko is going to offer some value in here, though. This is a horse that has improved ever since the maiden claiming win at the bottom. He's improved, and he has yet to run a soft race. He has run even on turf where he didn't really belong. He's 0-for-9 there. He was still running in those races, and he's still fit. He's still sharp, and he's good enough if he runs to that race on January 16th. So I'm going to probably use him in a few things that I'm going to try to map up. 5 and 7 in race 6.
Speaking of waiver claims, Toby, in race number 6, there's another runner eligible for the waiver claim, and that's the runner on the bottom, number 8, Can You Hear Me Knocking, from the Dan Blacker barn. Not eligible to be claimed, hasn't been seen since April of 2025. Couple of things that catch my eye. They bring him back in a 2-turn race, which tells me automatically they probably like the way he's doing. Also, trainer Dan Blacker does very well off long extended layoffs. He's been working here at Santa Anita in a regular fashion. What have you thought of his morning works?
Yeah, they're what we call fitness type of workouts, where he's been hard used pretty much to try to get the horse fit. Nothing flashy. So a lot to overcome here. But I'll tell you what, he is really the only other pace in the field, so you might have a danger from that aspect.
Speaking of pace in the race, let's take a look at race number 7. It's our feature race on the card, the aforementioned Wishing Well Stakes, $100,000 guaranteed for fillies and mares, those who have not won a graded stakes race since August 1st, 2025. Also, race 7 begins both the 50-cent late pick 4 as well as the $3 all-turf pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. We've got an excellent field of 9, morning line favorite. The undefeated, gratefully, 4-for-4, multiple surfaces, multiple racetracks, 2-1 on the morning line. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Toby, you want to take a look at a workout for number 9, Jungle Peace. This workout was on February 15th. Just a short while ago, 6 days or so. This particular workout was a solo training track drill Why did you want to show this workout?
Well, number one, the jockey in the saddle is Antonio Frezu. So this is the ultimate test drive week of the race to see what this filly felt like doing. And they let her do whatever she wanted in this work. If you watch Antonio, he's just sitting on this horse. And if she wanted to go, she was going to go. But he didn't ask her at all to go, and she went. I mean, look at the final time there. That tells you, let's call this a high cruising speed for this horse. And we talked about pace. This is a race where I think you want to be in position. I don't see a lot of early speed in this race. It might put this horse on the outside to be in the right spot, being very well drawn, Jungle Peace. But what a nice little solo work this was to come in on. The interesting new shooter in the race, number 4, Saratoga Special. Big, gigantic workout over the synthetic track. Actually wound up being best of about a 5-way team, which is very, very rare. Started behind all these other runners, including Watchtower, who's a stake horse out of the Baltus barn, and blew right by them all. So it was eye-catching. It'll be interesting to see the quality of this horse. Sure going to get tested for class right off the bench. But interestingly enough, from a form standpoint, I talk about Mike Welsh. I talk about my partner, Donald Harris, who's done just a dynamite job on the road for me and the team. He watches Kentucky closely, and he's got a very key trip note on this horse on September 6th at Kentucky Downs.
Which horse are we talking about?
Talking about Jungle Peace here, gotcha. Our top horse. The interesting running line. She's so spicy.
I've heard of her.
I think we all kind of, the day after the Breeders' Cup, really knew who she was. And I'll tell you what, we made a gigantic score there. And that's why I know how huge that race is on September 6th. And this horse did not have the ideal trip. So that's also bodes my confidence on a couple of levels as far as this horse's chances today. So 9-4 in race 7.
Race number 8 begins at $3 late pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. In race 8, we're sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming Calbred 3-year-old fillies in for a $50,000 tag. There are 2 scratches. Program scratch of the 10. Also takeout number 9, California Cat, leaves us with a field of 8. Number 8, Twisted Humor from the Jeff Bondi barn, is the 3-1 morning line favorite. Another key race in the pick 6 sequence and all the other multi-race wagers, Toby. Give us a winner in race 8.
Well, Jeff Bondi in that race there with Twisted Humor, he actually ran 1, 2, 3. Very, very rare to see a barn of this size be able to run 1, 2, 3 in a race. Shady Stripes was on the wrong end of the 1, 2, 3 that day, but had excuses and also went about 8 wide the way I calculated it at the top of the lane. She's got a lot of fight to her. I sure wish she's just such a crummy workhorse. It shows you I must like her a lot today to pick her because her workout, she just kind of just does not have the focus. But she does have the ability, I believe. Her last race before, she actually just missed second and had a bad trip into a blind spot with no room. So she fires. And if she fires today, I think she's good enough to win. Right next to her is Cammie's Girl, who ran an interesting race in her debut effort at Del Mar. Had the rail that day, walked out of the gate. And then obviously closed a lot of ground. And interestingly, Tiago Pereira will stay in the saddle on my second choice, number 6, Cammie's Girl. So we're going to go 5 and 6 in this race.
The waters get deeper in race number 9. That's because it's a 12-horse field. Also, race 9 begins the $5 late daily double, also with a reduced 15% takeout. We're coming down the Hillside Turf Course. Allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than 2 scratches. Program scratch of the 7. Also take out the also eligible number 14, Beef Winslow. Number 10, Anmer Hall, who had a bit of a trouble trip last time and caused Antonio Fresu, her rider, his rider today, to be injured and recently be back on the comeback trail, is the 5-2 morning line favorite for trainer Peter Urton, in for the claiming tag because he's won this condition already. Another wide open grab bag, Toby, here. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, it is wide open. And, I kind of went back and forth here. without a lot of confidence. I don't know. I'd love to hear somebody who has a lot of confidence in this horse and hear their logic. I'm always open to winning information. With, like I've said many times also in the past, when I get into this kind of situation, I'm going to just go for the fence. Why not? And the fence in this race for me will be number 11, Di Capo out of the John Sadler barn. He has been just working absolutely tremendous. He's got a couple of explosive drills, and he's a speed horse. Usually speed horses don't have explosive type of finishes, but this guy did over the Tapeta surface. We'll just have to see whether he's good enough. I mean, he showed that big intrinsic ability at Los Al in the maiden win, and we'll just have to see if he's good enough here today. He'll be a gigantic price. Lyle the Crocodile will also be a gigantic price for Phil D'Amato, and when Phil D'Amato and Tiago Pereira get together on a long shot, interesting things can happen. Also been training up a storm on the Tapeta surface. So wide open, but I'm going with 11-2 when all is said and done.
Toby, to show you the power of formulator that you and I both love to use, I'm such a nerd that I had before Di Capo's maiden victory on December 7th. You actually had a super workout designation for him going into that race. Obviously, you liked the way he worked into that Los Alamitos race, and he paid handsomely at 2-1 as the betting choice. Have you seen similar super works for Di Capo since that January 2nd last effort?
Well, he's stronger. I mean, he is stronger, believe it or not. And that's why, it's like the turf part of it is a bit of a question mark. But, we're running down the hill, and the source is outside, and it's just going to be a fun race to watch and bet.
And speaking of a fun afternoon, race number 10 closes out a terrific and fun and hopefully profitable afternoon for most of us, where we're going 1 mile on the turf course for maiden special weight 3-year-olds. Also, race 10 begins the $1 super high 5. 3 scratches take out the 3 bottom runners. 12, 13, and 14 will not compete. Still leaves us with an excellent field of 11. Number 10, Urek, the very well-bred filly from the John Sadler barn, is the 7-2 morning line favorite. Give us a winner to close it out, Toby. But before you do, I have a feeling you like the Phil D'Amato runner, who's going to be breaking from post position number 5, because you wanted to show a workout for her. This is a team training track drill on February 2nd. This is a tandem of 3, I should say. What'd you like about this workout?
Well, there's a little bonus coverage, because look at who's trailing this workout, Lyle the Crocodile,
who we just gave out the race before.
We just talked about that one. Now, on the lead, on the rail is Melismatic, but coming in between horses is Cortina d'Impresso, and Kimura is in the saddle here, and this horse is running strongly. Look at the hands. The horse is under a tight hold at the wire. Now, we're not done yet. Let's keep this camera rolling, because now it gets really interesting. That's a good horse outside Lyle. Now, granted, Lyle made up a lot of ground, but let's stay tuned here. How about this gallop out? This horse is still running and going to run further and further clear, and we're going to lose it right about there.
But at odds of 6-1 on the morning line for trainer Phil D'Amato, first-time Lasix, certainly a very interesting contender in this nightcap. You put her on top, but you do respect another big price breaking from the rail, number 1, Channel Place. Yeah,
Channel Place has shown a ton of intrinsic speed in the morning, all the way back through Del Mar. And, of course, these connections need no introduction, especially the jockey in this case, Ismael Aramillo. Boy, he gets these horses out on the lead, and you can start to get excited if they're still in front mid-stretch or so. And I get the feeling this filly might be in front at that call at a big price. From there, I don't know. But I do know that number 5, the big angle here for me on number 5 is that this horse was not training really like anywhere close to the way she is now before her last race. So that's a big angle there as well.
5-1 to close it out in race number 10. Toby, thanks so much for your time and insight. we've got to run. But before we do, just a couple of quick reminders. The Coast to Coast Pick 5, $1 wager, low 15% takeout. That begins with Gulfstream Park, race number 9 today. 1:20 p.m. Pacific time is post time for Gulfstream Park, race 9. Also, the Sunset 6 links our last 3 races at Gulfstream Park with the last 3 races at St. Anita. The payout yesterday, in excess of $30,000 for a $1 wager. Get involved with both of those wagers. A lot of money to be made today. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Toby, thanks again for your insight. Have a great afternoon. Happy Lunar New Year, and we'll see you tomorrow. Best of luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. The track is fast, turf good. These track conditions brought to you by John Deere. Rail on the turf is at 0 feet on the turf course. We'll keep you posted on the condition of the grass as the day progresses. We started off on that turf. Scratch 1, Arkadelphia, and 7, Maker and Sons. Race 2 has no changes, and there are no changes in the third. The fourth does offer a middle pick 4. Very popular under the radar wager is that middle pick 4. Blinker note in there. Fifth race, scratch 13 and 14. Six starts with the fifth. In the sixth, late pick 5 begins. Scratch 2, Spun Not Stirred. Scratch 4, Aloha Chrome, 2 and 4 out of the 6. The 7th is the Wishing Well. No changes. We start the all-turf pick 3 and late pick 4 with that 7th. 8th race, scratch 9, California Cat. Scratch 10, Susie's Loaded. Late pick 3 begins with the 8th. 9th, scratch 7, I'm out of here. And 14, Beef Winslow. Late double begins there, and we have super high 5 in the 10th. Scratch 12, Narita. 13, Soul Sister. 14, Larios. Coast to Coast pick 5. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It starts today with Gulfstream's 9th.